Hello and welcome back to SRL here for the Singapore Grand Prix. We've got quite a spectacle in store for you tonight and quite a championship fight as well as we enter the final flyaway races. Europe is over and done with and we've got just 5 points between Ash Richardson and Shimasi at the top of the table. We're here today for qualifying. Unfortunately, Andy can't be with us tonight, so you've got myself, Alex, and we should have Ash Dawson joining us part way through the qualifying. A few technical issues on his end, but as we wait for any of the drivers to go out, then of course under the lights here in Singapore, plenty of potential for drama, and just got to leave that little bit in reserve possibly due to the walls lining the track, of course. And I can see we've got the first few cars exiting pit lane now, so we'll pick those up as they come out. Enrico then is the first man out on track. Shimasi and Skeven out there too. So quick recap from last time, and I see some drizzle out there actually, so potentially all the drivers are going to have to get out there as soon as possible. I'm not entirely sure of the weather forecast, but it's definitely rainfall, and you can see Shimasi out there on the ultra soft tyres at the moment. And of course, as we know from previous Singapore Grand Prix, weather is always something that can turn stuff on its head. And near certain Sebastian Vettel victory, of course, wiped out before turn 1 due to the wet track conditions. So then, we've got the majority of cars already out there on an outlap. I believe 4 or 5 cars still in the pits as we build up to a lap then. Just bear with me as I sort my various telemetries out. So yeah, back to the standings then, quick update. Of course, Ash Richardson, having been absent for the Hungary event, has had a first and second place in the last 2 European races in Spa and Monza, and he's turned the championship around. He's now 5 points ahead. He's gone straight on, I believe, the first corner there. Whether that time will stand, we'll wait and see. But yeah, then there's a 22-point gap back to Matt Meerkat, who was your winner last time out, I could see, in Monza, and your third place man last time out, Pitmat. He's 31 points off the leader Ash Richardson. So quite a fight in store as we enter, as I say, the final flyaways in Asia and the Americas, of course, ending in Abu Dhabi, final race of the season. But Shimasi then. Yeah, following that little incident, he's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Again, the weather remains to be seen whether that's going to be an issue. They're still all out there on the ultra softs at the moment, nothing like wet enough for intermediate conditions. And just seeing that, yeah, the forecast is, I believe, for more rain, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I believe Red Jams has had a bit of an accident already on the outlap, possibly damaging the car, so he's currently in the pit lane. But we're going to start getting, so it gives an indication of the early pace. Enrico goes fastest. Shimasi, I believe, has had the time disallowed. I can only think that was for the running wide at the first corner. Chicken goes fastest now, and Pitmat slots into second place. So the low 42s is where you want to be at the moment. We've got O2G coming through in 43.9, so not a brilliant lap by him. But at least he's got something on the board, which is more than can be said for most of them. Frisky CJ on a 42.9, so we've got 4 cars already into the 42s, and only 6 drivers set a time so far, so if the rain does begin to come down, it's looking good for the likes of Chicken, Pitmap, Enrico and Jay. Cars slide around a bit, so yeah, Griff had a bit of a I'm just trying to see if I can find anyone that's had a particularly good lap. Ash Richardson only 7th at the moment and on 44.7, so your current championship leader only 7th. Matt Meerkat, who's 2nd place of course in the third place in the championship, your winner last time out, he slots into 8th, just half a tenth off Ash Richardson. And Robin on a 155.1, so he's clearly heading at some point around the circuit. So 9 of the 18 winners, 10 of the 18 winners now have posted a lap time. No change up the top though, it's still those top 4 that have made it into the 42s. Chicken, Pitmat, Enrico and CJ. Richardson on a lap now. The back end a little loose, that rain's just starting to have a little. As the droplets increase all the time. And we've got Julian out there on Inters, so we have got the first man out there on Inters. I'll try and keep an eye on that for you. I believe just exiting pits. So is he fitted? So it may just be an issue with my telemetry. Is he on the Inters? It's possibly just, it's still coming up as in the pit, so yeah, probably just flicking through in the garage. And a bit of a lull at the moment then, your top 6 are all in the pit lane. Space Unicorn on an outlap, he remains on the Ultra Softs. Let's try and see what the sort of grip levels are. Not too bad for Space Unicorn, but he's running at quite a reduced pace at the moment. Yeah, I fear that the battle for pole, because of the weather, may have been finished quite early on in this session. We've got, oh, was that a Ferrari struggling to get in the pit lane there? And we'll keep an eye on Space Unicorn. I believe he's the only man out there on quick lap. We've got Red Jams here. He goes across the line at 149.6. So that should slot him into 13th place, I believe, or has it been allowed? It came up on the second time, so it's not yet gone to the leaderboard, so yeah, possibly an issue there for Red Jams as well. Yeah, we've got cars coming out in the Inters now, but yeah, they're surely not going to be able to beat the times that are currently posted. Chicken looking good on a 142.333. Very little action out there as the drivers on Ultrasofts make their way back to the pits. OTG is actually out there on a set of Ultrasofts again on an outlap, so yeah, I think come up with a couple of lads on Inters. It's now seeming that everyone's sticking with the Ultrasofts. It's right on the crossover, but with just 2 minutes and 40 left in the session. Oh, we've got a Ferrari in the wall. That is Jacob. So Jacob's in the wall. That's surely his qualifying over with just 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. He's got to get back round, and yeah, he's retired from the session. Wouldn't have had enough time to get back round, make the repairs and get out again. So he will start no better than 13th. He's the first, showing us the first of the runners not to set a time. Shimasi's out as well. So your second place man in the championship, Shimasi, will start 11th at best. And with Ash Richardson 7th, that's Yeah, good chance for him to extend that current 5-point lead in the championship. Oh, and Red Jam's spinning across the line. Yeah, he's took the front wing off as well. And with 1:30 left, I feel I'm just going to have to fill for time here because we've got almost no one out there on a lap. We've got Cherry 2 Pie on an out lap with intermediates. Has he got enough time to get around? He's just coming to the end of the first sector. It'll be close. Most of the guys have either retired or are sat in the pits. So yeah, qualifying unfortunately turning into a bit of a damp squib, but in the bit of dryish running we've got 3 guys up the top, all within, or just about within a tenth of a second of each other. We've got Chicken and Pitmat and Enrico all in the low 42s. So quite a prospect for the race, as well as watching the likes of Ash Richardson, Shamasi and Skeven, Red Jams as well. All drivers that quite frequently mix it up at the top of the field. They're all coming from compromised qualifying sessions because of this weather. And yeah, just as we wait for the clock to tick down then, and we did see quite a few people going straight on at the first corner. It definitely seemed more of a case of just keep it on the island on the early laps, and with the driest weather on those ultra soft tyres, you'd end up somewhere near the top if you got anything like a representative lap time in. I think a lot of the guys who didn't set laps were reasonably competitive, but by going too wide at that first corner, instantly had those times wiped. And I believe it's just Enrico to finish now, and then we'll be on to race day. Hopefully we'll see better weather. I'll leave it there, gather my thoughts, and we'll see you back for the race in a minute's time. Hello and welcome to race day in Singapore, and As we said after qualifying, hoped for some dry weather. Unfortunately, those hopes have been dashed. We've got heavy rain here. So yeah, this is as we expected. If it was dry, we'd have expected to see the championship leaders coming through the pack, Ash Richardson and Shimasi starting further down. It's all of a sudden they're going to have to pick their way through the first corners and try and escape without damage. We've got 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are underway here at a very wet Singapore. And Chicken gets away well, as does Pitmap. Enrico, is there going to be any contact into the first corner? Be careful, guys, please. And Chicken's already gone straight on. So Pitmat is going to take the lead in the Toro Rosso. Chicken, make contact. Oh, and try and keep it out of the barriers. It's very early stages yet. So Pitmat leads into turn 5, and I've lost the screen, unfortunately. I've been black screened at the moment, guys, so unfortunately can't give you any updates, and that's a real shame because I imagine it's going to be quite a chaotic first few laps here. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. So apologies. Hopefully back in a second. We're back, so no idea what the issue was there. Let's try and get updated, get speed. Pitmat still leading, Frisky CJ second, so he started 4th on the grid, I believe. Chicken 3rd, and we've got Cherry 2 Pie out of the race, so just picking that up. I'm sure you've already seen Enrico as well, who started 3rd, I believe, is now way down 17th and possibly out of the race. Yeah, Enrico out of the race. We've got 2 retirements already on lap 1. So yeah, that's just apologies, that black screen has given me not enough time to set my various telemetries up. Get back maybe in a second. So yeah, Pitmat leading at the moment. Try and keep an eye on a bit of the action for you. Shimasi, he's the big gainer there so far. He has made up 6 places on this open. So lap 2, Chicken massively sideways out of the final corner. I can see a more Shimasi here. So and Julian as well, up 10 places. So OTG as well, biggest loser out there. He's gone down to 11 places, I can see, on the first lap. But the crucial one, of course, is Pitmat up 1 from 2nd on the grid. He leads. Chicken, your pole sitter, down 2. Shimasi and Ash Richardson is in 7th place. So the championship is going back to Shimasi, I believe, at the moment. And just quickly work out the points there. And Shimasi is going down the inside of Chicken into turn 7 at the end of the first sector. Can he keep it? It's very tricky in these conditions. I think he's made it. I mean, an awesome move. He can go around the outside there. What a move from Shimasi. Makes up another place. And now he's going to have to get after CJ and Pitmat before they make too much of a gap. So Chicken then, the pole sitter, falling like a stone at the moment, down to 4th place. Other notable drivers out there, Matt Meerkat up 1 place into 6th, of course, your winner last time out. But these wet conditions are going to make it a long evening out there. And yeah, just lap 2 of 31 here, of course. Quite a slow race, usually in Singapore, slow speeds. It tends to be one of the long in terms of time. Shimasi absolutely on the limit here as he tries to close down to Frisky CJ. Feel the action. We've got Jacob in the Ferrari, of course, had the spin in turn 8 in qualifying at front section. He's up 3 places at the moment. He's got Tiger Car and rocking ahead of him. Robert. Just left the race, and Shimasi and now Skeelan go fast. Oh, we've got contact down the back between Tiger Car in the Renault and Jacob. So Jacob's going to front wing down. So that's going down. So, on the track at the moment. We've got Julian on the back of Ash Richardson. So Ash Richardson up 5, Julian up 10, and they've met in the middle. Championship leader, of course, by 5 points at the moment. Ash Richardson just needs to keep it on. And for now, it's going to be, as we've said, a very long evening. But yeah, just back to a point I was going to make a second ago. 2 minutes for the fastest lap of the race so far on lap 2. That just goes to show the difference between the sort of light rain and drizzle, but still managing to run slick tyres that we had in qualifying, and the heavy rain here. Of course, we were a 1:43 in qualifying, so almost 20 seconds slower in the opening laps here. Of course, full of fuel as well, so that always makes a difference. And that will be definitely be something that comes into play later on. They'll be saving a little bit of fuel in the rain, so if we do have any change in weather, they'll possibly be able to turn it up later on. But at the moment, Julian he's under a second to Ash Richardson, but not managing to get into an overtaking position. Oh, but he's gone wide. Ash Richardson's gone wide. Oh, and Julian gets it lit up on the exit of there from there. So, yeah, possibly just distracted by the chance he all of a sudden got up the inside of Ash Richardson. Trying to get on the power early to make the move sick. Lit up the rear tyres. Big oversteer moment. Luckily kept it out of the wall, and the Red Bull lives to fight another day. We've got quite a battle going on further up actually, because Frisky CJ is holding up Shimasi. Chicken, who's been revitalised now and lost 3 places, he's definitely up to speed. Skeeven as well, trying to make a move up the inside, but we've got then a 4-car battle for second place as Pitmac disappears up the road. 5 seconds clear after just 3 laps, so yeah, Shimasi really needs to clear CJ if he's to have any chance of winning this race. The Toro Rosso we see just flashing through the screen, already well on his way to the left-hander, as CJ, Shimasi, Chicken and Skeeven all come through the flat-out right-hander into the 90-degree left. No overtaking this time. Skeeven just managed to get through on Chicken. He has. And yep, Chicken, I think, possibly ran a little wide there as well, outbraked himself. So Skeeven makes up another place. But it's still stalemate at the moment between CJ and Shimasi. 3/10 is all the gap is as they come down into the very twisty section, very tight down here. Narrow walls as they cross the bridge. That's been opened up in recent years. Used to be a lot tighter as you went to the opposite side of the road bridge there. But, and now a good overtaking place for Shimasi surely, as he gets a good run out of the hairpin. He's got a long straight now into another just over 90-degree right-hander, I believe this one. And he's up the inside, locked up. CJ runs wide. Is there damage to the car? I think he's got away with it, but he does lose second place. So Shimasi makes up another place as CJ picks up a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for cutting the corner there. So when he's losing a place to Skeeven as well, well, rejoining the track. So it was there for CJ. And it's going to be one of those afternoons where, because of the weather, it's probably likely that anyone who can stay out of trouble and, crucially, stay off the run-up areas and keep the penalties to a minimum is probably going to turn out to be a winner today. And at the moment, that's Pitmac, because he's got an absolutely clear view ahead of him. And no one making big lunges up the inside. He can do exactly what he wants, position his car where he wants. Just back it off that little bit, not outbrake himself, focus on keeping everything perfectly in line, as we see pretty much chaos ensuing behind, as you'd expect from a wet race around the streets of Singapore. And we've got Ash Richardson in the pits already then, so he's on for Inters already then, so Ash Richardson and Julian, 2 of the biggest gainers off the grid, have both gone for Inters, as have Jacob. So yeah, the rain's definitely eased, and that could be a massive stroke, as we see. Yeah, the standing water beginning to clear. Interesting to see. We're on lap 5 here, and we're already having guys switch to the Inters. If it continues to dry out at this rate, we will see slicks at some point. And of course, because it's been a wet race, they can get whatever compound in the slicks they want. They don't have to run any of the mandatory compounds. They don't have to run two different compounds, they can put whatever they want on for the remainder of the race. But for the moment, we've not got the chance of slip conditions because Ash Richardson is definitely struggling a little bit out there on the Inters. It all looks a bit leery. Whether it's quicker on the stopwatch remains to be seen. A bit wide there, just snatching an inside break. The gap to Julian is actually 2 seconds throughout all that, throughout the pit stops there. So yeah, Ash Richardson's just gained a bit of a breathing space to the Red Bull behind him. But what the leader's going to do then? Carries on for another. As it dramatically dries out, he's not in any danger of having to pit or having to be the first to pit. Shimaski, that's a 2 minute 2 minute dead 0.5 fastest lap of the race. So time's not coming down massively as you'd expect if it was drying out. But possibly these full wet tyres may be starting to overheat a little if the standing water's clearing. Chicken is also in the pits, as is Matt Meerkat, Tiger Kart, and Jin. I'm afraid we've had trouble ever since he joined the SRL. That name, I'll have to get that from Mike for next week, which is it's wrong this time. Red Cam's as well in the pits. OTG. Oh, and OTG's out of the race, so he's on the Inters by the look of it. Actually, OTG is full wets. The Inters on the telemetry, so I'm not entirely sure what tyres he was running, but either way, he's out of the race. So we're down to just 14 years, I believe. We have Ash, so welcome Ash, and apologies all for the technical issues. And
yes, well, what actually happened was I was cycling to the track this morning, just along the Marina Bay, and then I came across some what is it? What's it called? A giant lizard just ran across me. I fell off my bike into a fence and I had to go to the local hospital. So yeah, that's my excuse for being late to work today. But yeah, here now, just familiarise myself with the screen, and yeah, it seems well, race Singapore. Who expected this?
yeah, and just to clear one thing up a second, I believe Ash Richardson has left the race. So is Ash Richardson out of the race?
Well, it says on the. It does say there on the classification that he is in P7, although his car is ghosting because he's got well, actually the pole sitter, Chicken 1990, ghosting through him. So yes, it does appear Ash Richardson has left the session. Meanwhile, we've got Frisky CJ just exiting the pits now. He's currently down to 5th place after starting 4th. He's now behind Ash Richardson and Chicken 1990. So yep, he exits the pits in P7. But of course, with Ash Richardson ghosting around the track, he's going to go up to 6th in just a short while.
Yeah, so Ash Richardson being one of the first, and Julian as well being one of the first to change to the Inters, it has worked out. They've gained more places, but yeah, major drama here. If Ash Richardson is indeed out of this race, that's your championship leader on lap 7 in the Singapore Grand Prix, sitting in the stands, and Shimasi, who's just 5 points behind him, looking like he's going to go straight back to the top of the table with at least 2nd place at the moment. So, of course,
yeah,
very early on, anything can happen with Shimasi.
Yeah, because of course Matt Meerkat, who was the winner of last out in Monza, he looked to be in form going into this weekend in Singapore for the final flyaways. But it's not looking good tonight here at the Marina Bay. He's currently in 12th place, and he is in a battle with 8-tin-03, I believe that's how you pronounce it, with 8 and Red Jams, although he is ahead of Red Jams, and he's just got past 8-tin now at turn 5, I think that one is there, and he's up 11th. But he's still full 2.9 seconds behind Jacob Stowe in P10 in the Ferrari.
Yeah, so just to bit of a reset. Everyone now who's still running is out there on the. They're all out there on the inters now. The rain's definitely eased. Pitmat maintaining that 5-second gap that he pulled out when CJ was holding back the likes of Shimasi. Shimasi now into second place. Not really been
we say everyone's on the inters. You say everyone's on the inters, but I mean, yes, it says in the detail that all inters. But I'm watching Frisky CJ going around the track now, and he's got full wet tyres on his car. So that's one glitch that Code Masters needs to sort out, isn't it?
Yeah, just double checking that, and yet I have the same information on my screen, so I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I would imagine by the pace he's shown that he is running the intermediates, and we're just not going through.
Yeah, so Codemasters once again has something to sort out. So if we want to look at the tyres on each car, we can't just go by the details on the screen. We actually have to ride on board with them at Supreme Race League Race Control.
Yeah, and just to prove me wrong from a second ago, Shimasi's now taken almost 7/10 out of the lead of Pitmat on the.
He has indeed. And now, I've just got to interrupt you there, we've got Mr. Robin HX and Tiger Car 2 side by side down the first, what would be the DRS zone, but because it's wet, it's not going to be happening. We've got Tiger now, he's just right on the back of Robin. He was alongside him earlier, but he's going to have to hold back here. We don't want to run into the back of him here on the streets of Singapore. We are currently on lap 8 out of 31. Oh, and he's going for the move down the inside into turn 6. Has he got him? I think he has. Yes, he has. He's up to P8 now. And, of course, well, they'll be hoping to catch Ash Richardson, who is actually back in session, although the full 18 seconds behind Ash Richardson now. But yeah, he's already half a second ahead of Robin, but coming into the slow parts now, over the bridge, just alongside the Fullerton Hotel. These two may have quite a battle happening, but of course, with I was only on lap 9 out of 31, anything can happen at the moment here, can't it? Meanwhile, Shimasi has set the new fastest lap of the race. In fact, now Skivan has set that in his Ferrari, a 1:57.5. So yeah, the pace is really on for the front runners. While Shimasi and Skivan, they've actually fallen back a little bit now from Pitmat, but who knows what's going to happen next? You never know what's going to happen in Singapore, do you? It's a very unpredictable racetrack, this.
Yeah, absolutely. Fastest laps tumbling by the second. Nick Ash Richardson is back in the session and running 7th place. He's 8 seconds off at the moment. His championship rival Shimasi, of course, up in 2nd place. But yeah, dropped back from Pitmat. It would seem on the last lap. Pitmat responding to that charge, as we know, as we've already mentioned. Pitmat has the luxury of being out in front. He can take it as he wants, pace it as he wants. After the tyres, of course, we've no idea what's going to happen with the weather. It could be the case that these tyres have to go very deep into the race, or certainly longer than we saw the full wet shoes for. So tyre saving is going to come into it. A scheme that's a 3-second time penalty. So as always, we've got to take things with a pinch of salt until we see the final standings. Quite a few penalties, of course, as you'd expect with the.
Talking of yeah, and talking of tyres and talking of salt, Matt Meerkat has caught up now to the Ferrari of Jacob Stowe and the Renault of Tiger Car, and also Mr. Robbins Mercedes up front. They're really sliding everywhere around the track now. Coming into turn 6, Matt Meerkat has got round Jacob Stowe on the outside. He's wet tyres, Tiger Car, Jacob Stowe and Mr. Mint, they're all running the intermediate. But with Matt Meerkat going faster than him, it looks the wets are actually the better tyre to be on right now, because we're looking at the screen there and out this commentary box window, it looks like the race getting heavier and we could be going back to full wets again, Alex.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. It's not the first time in this race that Robbins had a train of cars behind him. He's actually got a 5-car train this time. So,
it's getting big now. Yeah, because we've got the Williams of 8th in again. Sorry about that. And the Haas of Red Jets.
Yeah,
but at the front, we're getting a battle on our hands again. Skivan and Shimasi right on the first straight again. Skivan is caught up to Shimasi, but he has got that time though, so if he is going to pass him, he needs to pull out at least a 3-second gap and hope that Shimasi can make some sort of mistake. It's getting close now. The gap now just 0.3 of a second, while the brakes are actually heating up despite the wet weather conditions. But then again, you are in Singapore, close to the equator. But yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure driving these cars around these streets, hot temperatures in the rain, must be like trying to drive your car in a very hot shower.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to note, Shimasi's actually picked up his own 3-second penalty, so that nullifies any changes there. So this is pure battle for position as we see it at the moment.
It sure is, and it's not certain of how it will end. Isn't it nice to watch Ferrari versus McLaren again?
It's been a while. I believe 2012, 2013, possibly last time that happened.
Yes, yeah, you should say so. And sadly, the other Ferrari of Jacob Stowe appears to have left the session. He's going around like a ghost car.
Yeah, and front wing damage as well. We saw earlier he had that contact with Tiger Car whilst they were behind Robin the first time. Robin's actually dropped 2 places, I believe now. So that train
well, you saw it, I didn't. I was still on my way to the commentary box.
Yeah, and so what we've got here is quite a few people.
Oh, we're coming down. Sorry, coming down to turn 1. We've got Skivan on the back of Shimasi. It's getting embarrassed now between these two. Round in turn 3. Skivan has got the better exit while Shimasi's going sideways a little bit. Here we go. Round the slight left turn 4. Coming up to turn 5. I was saying this was turn 4. It's actually turn 5. Here we go then. Onto the straight. Of course, you can just see Pit Matt there pop out your view in the lead of the race. It's car number 13 versus car number 15. McLaren versus Ferrari. We've had this since 2013. Skivan is right on the back of Shimasi, but again, he has to back off coming into this turn 6. Got to brake early. He does not want to damage his wing, especially at this crucial stage of this fantastic season.
Yeah, you can always tell when the drivers start picking up penalties. One of 2 things are happening: either they've lost the plot completely, or they're in a battle of life and death. And that's what's happening with these two at the moment. They've both picked up penalties in the last 3 laps, and still only 4 tenths between them. It's been like that for at least a couple of laps. So yeah, absolutely neck and neck as Stephen hangs the back end out over the bridge into the left-hand hairpin, and possibly overtaking point at the end of this straight.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, Skivan once again got the better exit out of the corner. He just seems to have better traction coming out of that corner, doesn't he? Shimasi isn't hitting the apexes as well as he should be, and that's causing him to lose time to Pit Matt up front in his Toro Rosso. Meanwhile, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. If we can take a look what that is. Yes, it's red jams, and he's spun it and he's got damaged wing. He's lost the left end plate on his front wing, and he's struggling to keep going. In fact, he's left the session now.
Yeah,
his car's still moving, but it's just set on screen.
We've had quite a race of attrition already. We're only on lap 11. Can you believe it? Not even sorry, just over a third of the way into this race.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, Skivan, he's dropped back a few tenths to Shimasi, but then again, you know, it's not a massive difference in the race. Of course, in qualifying a race like this, it is. Oh, well, hang on. We've got Jacob there just getting in the way. Luckily, he was ghosting. If he wasn't, there would have been serious words there coming out of Mauricio Arriva-Beni's mouth. Absolutely furious, but that's not the case right now. What is the case is the battle here for second place. Both cars sliding their way around turn 5. Skivan wants to get on the back of Shimasi. Always. Can he get alongside him? It doesn't appear so. No, he cannot. He stays behind in 3rd place again, while Pit Matt gets another second on them.
Yeah, and just taking a second there to cycle through, we've got bits of front wing missing left, right and centre here, so as you'd expect, the wall's so close and conditions as bad as they have been, there's quite a few people out there that picked up front wing damage, but of course with only 1 stop made so far, and the amount of time you'd lose if you made an unscheduled stop, the low speeds around here at Singapore at the moment mean it's probably not worth changing the wing that much. In fact, probably negate
not really.
Oversteer that everyone's been having.
Yeah, and oversteer there. Skivan just had a bit of oversteer coming out that corner from the bridge, and he's lost a little bit of time now to Shimasi. Shimasi was all getting a better exit, and he's actually hit the apex now on this corner, just coming round. So We're into the slower part of the track now. Left hand, right hand. Here's the chicane, another left-hander. We're getting into the narrow part of the track, right alongside the beautiful Marina Bay, which, believe me, on a sunny afternoon is a very beautiful place to be. Coming into the tunnel now, under the grandstand. Very slow here in the wet. Of course, in the dry, you can absolutely fly through there like you're on a motorbike, but not this time. We're in the wet. We're in a Formula One car. Not so easy. Once again, another chicane. And again, Skivan is losing time to Shimasi now. What is going on? I mean, Skivan is losing out grip all of a sudden, but he has seemed to get better exit out at last corner. He's closed in by another 2 or 3 tenths on the back of Shimasi. Into turn 1 now. Oh, Shimasi's gone wide. Skivan has took second place. He's just ahead of him now. Yep, and of course Skivan he had to take the exit route, go around the side, otherwise he would have got another time penalty. So Skivan is now up to second place in the Ferrari, and can he now get on and hunt down pit Matt for the lead of this race? That would really, really help the Ferrari team.
Yeah, he could be Ash Richardson's best friend by the end of this race if he keeps keeping the damage to a minimum. So yeah, that does have an impact on the championship. Of course, Stephen himself is currently in 5th place. He's 62 points off Ash Richardson at the moment, so still within striking distance, but it's quite a gap to make up throughout these final races.
It is indeed, and Skivan looks now to be pulling away from Shimasi. Yes, he's still with a second, but of course with no DRS, you're not going to get any benefit from it. You have to do the moves yourself, and in the wet, it's much harder as he clips the barrier there, just on the inside, going onto the bridge past the Fullerton Hotel. Now, onto the back straight again. Yep, Shimasi's now saying on my screen 9 tenths behind. He is losing time. This is the closest battle on the track now, because the battle we have further back involving Matt Meerkat, Apeton and Tiger Car, they've all spread out by quite a lot. I'm just going to check now if I've had any more pit stops. Robin and Apeton have. So that's why. And Skivan has just got another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, cutting the corners like a stupid go-kart driver.
Yeah, just checking the results from previous races this season. We noted in Hungary that Stephen had finished on the podium in every race he'd finished. The only unfortunate part of that fact being that he's not finished so many. He started the season with a win, and had 2 non-finishers, 3rd place, and 4 consecutive non-finishers, and then 3 second places in a row, and then 2 non-finishers in Spa and Monza. The last 2 races out, so yeah, provided he can keep it going, he's looking good for a top 3 place here.
He is, although it's not cool. It's going to do great for his checkered flag to podium percentage record, but overall points record's not been great. Meanwhile, further back, it's Frisky CJ, Chris Johnson from London, is catching the pole sitter, Chicken 1990. It's the Mercedes with full wets and the Sauber with intermediate tyres. Which is the best tyre to be on? Which is the best car to be in? It appears the Mercedes with the full wets. He's not catching quickly, but he's catching by a few hundredths of a second per sector. And Chris, meanwhile, does look up there in turn 6. Doesn't run wide though. He's doing fairly well here, catching up the man who loves his chicken.
Absolutely, yeah. As you say, that probably at the moment about the most interesting fight we've got. Shimasi and Stephen seem to actually, by the time all the penalties work out, Stephen's just behind Shimasi, I believe. So yeah, that remains probably.
Yeah, they have just spread out a bit, those. And from what I said about Skivan catching pit Matt, it's not happening.
And pit Matt has had a very quiet race so far. Started on the front row, I believe, and took Chicken into the first corner as Chicken ran wide, and yeah, hasn't looked back since. But
Chris Johnson once again locking up. For go ball with Chicken up front, he seems to be smooth around the bends, but it's just on the exit of the corners, the back end tends to slide out. Chris Johnson has a little bit of better traction. Basically what it is, Chris Johnson's better into the corners, the Chicken is better at the exit. It's better on the exit of the corners.
Yeah, just trying to cycle through at the moment to see who's where on fuel. I think most of them saved quite a bit during the heavy rain. Of course, you don't use as much fuel in on them. for as much of the time. So no one seems to have any particular issues. From what I can see that Tiger Car has almost 5 laps additional fuel, so he wants to get turning that up to a rich mix sooner rather than later, or he'll be paying quite a penalty carrying that around.
Yeah, certainly so. And Chris Johnson's actually lost 7/10 on that last lap. 59.90. The pole sitter is actually getting a little bit of a gap now. Meanwhile, Chris Johnson almost lost his car there coming out of turn 6. I believe he hit some standing water there. Despite being on the full wets, he's the one ends up spinning, and he's nearly done it again. He's sliding really badly round the bends here. It's not going well now for Chris Johnson. I was full of praise for him on the last lap, but on this one, he's just falling backwards and backwards, but not quite as far back as Ash Richardson, who is currently 17 seconds behind the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, whatever incident Ash had earlier in the sessions really killed off his charge for today. And that's a shame really, but he's just going to keep going round, try and hope that things kick off in front of him and can pick up some decent points for the championship. But what have we had these inters on for now? About 10-11 laps, so especially in these conditions that look like they're drying out again now. Could be a bit of an issue on tyre life.
Is the safety car on for this race, or is it off? Just wondering. Is it on?
I don't believe we have a safety car. Someone might tell me otherwise, but no, I don't think we have the safety car. I'm sure they've seen it at some point by now, if that was the case.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, you know, a safety car would really help Ash Richardson here if it was to come out. Because if he wasn't really comfortable with his tyres at the time it came out, he could then pull the wires and be all bunched up again, and maybe that would be a chance for him to charge up again. But it's, at the moment, with the whole field separated apart by margins, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. And Sam is pulling a gap on Shimasi. 2 seconds now, the gap between the Ferrari and the McLaren.
Yep, and he needs to do that because he's got penalties that put him still behind Shimasi by my calculations, so I'm sure it usually catches us out. We've missed quite a few penalties by the end of the race, but I think I've kept up the speed on that one.
Yes, and Skivan is actually closing the gap now on pit mat. Gap now 5 seconds exactly, it just said on the screen there. He has closed down because at the time he got past Shimasi, it was around 6.2 seconds, I believe it said. Now it's down to 5 seconds. Can Skivan catch the Toro Rosso driver? The man who started in second place on the grid, I believe it was. Let's just have a look. Yes, the man who did start in second place is now under pressure from Skivan in the Ferrari. If he can catch up with Pitmat and take over, that will really, really help in the championship against his rivals around the sort of midfield part of the table.
Yeah, so your two leaders at the moment are the current 4th and 5th place men in the championship. There is quite a gap between them. I believe it is 31 points between the two of them. Yeah. So.
Meanwhile, whoa! Skivan almost collides with Tiger Car, who's exiting the pits in his Renault on super soft tyres. That's a change to dries, which I did not see coming at all. Yes, the rain has stopped, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. And it took Skivan 2 corners or 3 corners to get around the marker of Tiger Car. The Tiger Car actually back off.
Will the dry tyres actually help him, and will he get past the Ferrari? Of course, the gap now at the front is back up to 6.3 seconds. We've now got who's in the pits? Chicken 1990 in the pits. Frisky CJ is also in the pits. Both of them have took on the well, I was going to say super soft. Chicken has took on the ultra soft. Interesting. He's not really going to try to get to the end of those, is he? Yeah, and Shimasi getting yet another penalty in at McLaren. He's also on the ultra soft, so I can believe either that penalty was for cutting a corner or for crossing the exit line of the pit lane. Don't quite know, we didn't see it, Darcy's. Ash Richardson also in the pits of super soft. Matt Baker in the Force India, he's on the super softs as well. Yep, Appleton. He's pitting now. What tyres are he going to take? Replacing his intermediates. He's got the red super softs as well. Jacob Stowe, he's coming out of the pits, although he's an AI car, so that don't make a difference. Then put ultra sauce. Oh dear. But yeah, and we've just got Matt Meerkat has exited the pits, pulled in now, just doing the same thing in the Williams. So it seems now dry tyres could be the way forward for this race. But which one? I do recommend the yellow sauce. I would recommend the red super sauce with the amount of time left in this race. I think though, the purple ultra sauce, which, oh well, chicken has got one, but it's what it said on my first. It's now saying super sauce. Crying out loud, Cody, you read. There we go, Shimasi's got the purple ultra sauce, and he's just spun, and has he damaged his wing? No, not quite. He's just going through the tunnel now.
Yellow wall tyres on. Skeeman's gone for the soft tyre.
And Julian is right on the back of Shimasi now. The Shimasi has lost out massively to Skivan. Skivan's on pit exit. He's going to be ahead of Shimasi, it seems. And he's got the yellow sauce. Like you just said, Alex. Yes, well done. He remains ahead of Shimasi. But Julian now joins the party.
Yeah, 14 places made up so far by Julian. So, yeah, if he can get ahead of his car,
very well.
Incredible recovery drive back after a poor qualifying. So yeah, we've got 3 different compounds of tyres in the top 4 places at the moment, and yeah, 3 different compounds within about a second of each other on track here at the moment.
Yes. And Mr. Robinson in the other Mercedes, the 91 car, has just picked it again because he had damaged the wing. But he's keeping his super sauce. At front, pit Matt is now 9.5 seconds front. So through the pit stops, he has gained time. On the ultra sauce, Kivan behind is on the yellow tyres. Of course, they're going to be much slower than the ultra sauce. So can pit Matt pull out enough of a gap here to then make another pit stop for maybe another set of ultras and get back in front and still win the race? And meanwhile there, we just had, who was it that just set the fastest lap? It was, someone just did.
It's Tiger Kart setting a 1:44.2. Of course, we'll see the times tumble as they come around for the first flying laps on the slick tyres. And so, yeah, Pitmat had the luxury of having a gap, so he could always go a lap longer just to make sure the slicks were the way to go. And
now Shimasi's got the fastest lap that we've just seen.
Yeah, fastest lap tumbling.
1:41.8, I think that just said. And he's now right on the back of Skivan. The battle between Ferrari and McLaren is back again, but this time we've got a Red Bull in it too, of Julian. Can he gain another 2 places on his brilliant as he run around Marina Bay circuit? Of course, if he does get a good podium here, Julian, he's going to be partying all night on top of the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, absolutely buzzing from this race. Currently in 4th place, he's watching the McLaren and the Ferrari squabble in front of him, but he's just got to be careful. And meanwhile, Matt Meerkat, the winner of last time out in Italy in the Sahara Force India, has also now set a fastest lap.
Yeah, it just goes to show what an effect that little bit of drizzle had in qualifying. The pole time was a 1:42.3. We're already below that as the track continues to dry here. And,
wow, I would never have thought that.
Yeah,
we just see a Sauber getting out the way there, and that's the Sauber of Limaro 83. Of course, he's had a really good race tonight. But every credit to him though, for just carrying on and hopefully maybe get a few points if cars in front crash, which can happen. Looking at Skivan and Shimasi, really touching the back of Skivan there as Shimasi goes through the tunnel. But I think his wing is just about okay. Yes, it is. And Julian 2395, don't know what those numbers are, it's probably the code of his phone number. But yes, right behind, he's ready to take on any mistakes that Skivan and Shimasi could make. A Tiger Car 3-second time penalty, once again, for multiple warnings. He's going from celebrating the fastest lap to, oh dear, a 3-second time penalty. What a sad night.
Yeah, I've not really seen Julian pick any penalties, so I'm not aware of any of that. So at the moment, Shimasi, I think, is running in 4th place, and Ash Richardson's actually recovered up to 6th. So the championship isn't taking as big of a swing as we maybe thought earlier when Shimasi was looking at 2nd place. And Ash Richardson, we thought at one point, could be looking sitting the race out in the stands. So
Well-
it's awful. Goes back up, swung on its head again for the championship.
While you look at the on-track action there, I'm just looking now at the incidents in this race. It doesn't seem, though, that Julian has got any penalties. He got a warning on lap 17, crossing the pit exit lane. You know, the white line. He only got a warning for that, so he got very lucky there. He must have just locked up his brakes slightly. But yes, he's doing very well. You know, looking clean, just a warning, no penalty. Currently in 4th place after starting from 18th place it was. Going really well, and then another penalty now for Lamaro, but it's not going to make any difference to his dreadful night in the Sauber. He's actually 46 seconds off the next car ahead. It's going from bad to worse for Lamaro.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be surprised if there's not more warnings or penalties out there for crossing the pit exit line. It's definitely one of the harder ones on the calendar, especially in the wet conditions that we've had. So, yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see quite a few occurrences of that on the race director screen there. But yeah, Julian just a bit too far behind to make any sort of lunge on Shimasi. Shimasi's actually closer to Stephen at the moment, but of course those soft tyres, how are they going to be working? It's all going to close up in the final laps, I assume, with the ultra softs maybe going off the softs.
I'm just saying out, DRS is now available. Shimasi has it open on the Skivan, going round the outside. Is he going to get past here into left-hander? They brake, they touch, but there's no damage it seems, and they just keep it clean. Just stay in the same position, although on that last lap I saw Skivan got another 3-second time penalty, but at the same time as that happening, Pitmap did cross the line and set the fastest lap. Yes, that has now been changed by Red Jams by less than a tenth of a second, but Pitmap now a full 12.8 seconds ahead of this battle here for second place. He's taking massive advantage of this on his ultra softs. He may have to pit again, he may not. We don't know. But Skivan on those yellow softs is slower than Chassis behind on the ultra softs. He's right on the back of him again, but this time no DRS, not on this straight. He's going for the outside again, but he does not get past, they touch, slight wheels, and now Julian's on the back of them too. Coming up now to the chicane. It's not changing positions, no it's not. It's getting to the narrow parts of the track here. I think they're best single file here and just keeping it clean on the track. Keep the next DRS staying on the main straight, and then that's where you can make your move down into turn 1.
Yeah, Pitmat's enjoying himself up the front. He's got these 3 drivers here taking time off each other. He's got it easy really, but yeah, he's definitely not backing off, as you can see by setting the fastest laps. But
absolutely.
Yeah, whilst just keep back here, and Shimasi and Stephen have looked within a tenth of a second of complete disaster at times here. So yeah, Julian, I think probably just biding his time. I would say Shimasi's it's borderline whether they can get to the end with top performance. So Julian has got tyres that can easily go to the end with decent pace. So yeah, and just 10 laps to go. So plenty of time for Julian to make a move stick.
Yes, Pit Matt at the front doing a very good job. He'll be getting fed this information from his team. Meanwhile, further back, we have got a close battle once again. Ash Richard is no longer on his own round the track. He's got, yes, last week's winner at Monza, Matt Meerkat behind him. They may be able to compare driving systems, but not the Meerkat. Here we go then, up to turn 5, the right-hander. Is he going to get DRS here? I think so. Yes, he has. He's got DRS on the Renault in front. Can the Mercedes power from this Force India get him closer? It doesn't appear so. The slipstream is not taking effect. Coming down now into the left-hander. He's still behind him. Ash Richardson, the back end just sticks out a little bit, but it doesn't compromise the exit too much. He stays in front of the Force India, and the battle carries on for another sector. And meanwhile, Shimasi and another driver there, as he quickly just changed, has got a 3-second time penalty again. He might just even get a lap's worth of time penalties. It's getting silly out there at the front.
Yeah, I think the other car was chicken, so I think he picked up quite a few penalties.
Okay.
But yeah, Shimasi then that surely drops him behind Julian by quite a margin. So he definitely needs to clear Steve and get off down the road if he's wanting to finish on the podium today.
He certainly is. And what's it going to be here? Rounding turn 3. Stop-go penalty for Red Jams now, speeding in the pit lane, but that's not relevant to this battle at the front, although he has just overtook Tiger Car on the track. or maybe even in pit. Yes, it was on the track going into pit entry, but Shimasi is not as close to Skivan now as he was on the last lap. He's not going to get past here at the corner, not unless Skivan runs wide, which he doesn't. Both of them just lock up their left front slightly, but it no matters. Here we go, they stay there. There's still a bit of darks on the track actually. You're going to be able to see when you go into the dark sections of the track and the red lights on the back of the car shine and flash when harvesting power, you can see it. And meanwhile, ahead of Skivan is a black marker, which is the Renault of not Ash Richardson. Well, it looked like a Renault on my screen. Who was it?
I think it's Jacobs.
Oh no, it's Jacobs. It's his ghost car. So ghosting teammate getting out of the way there. Shimasi has fallen back a little bit there. Meanwhile, at the front, Pitmat is 14 seconds dead in front. But now Shimasi, I was about to say dropping back. He's not. He's got closer there in the right-hander. Here we go once again. Narrow part of the track alongside the Marina Bay Harbour, looking great. He's got the better of the line, just hugging the curb. Coming up now, tunnel under the grandstand. Very close behind him, just keeping it clean. Julian dropped back by a few seconds, but I'm sure all he's wanting to do is keep it clean. Meanwhile, Ash Richardson, championship leader, 3-second time penalty again while he's battling Matt Meerkat. But coming on now, onto the main straight. Shimasi behind Skivan. He's got his DRS open. He's going to be close enough to make a move down into turn one. Not quite again. It seems that the harder, soft tyres is just giving it better speed control on the straights. But through the corners, it's where Shimasi has the better traction in the McLaren Honda. Going up now to the second DRS zone. Both of them hugging the inside line, but Shimasi getting another 3-second time penalty. That seems a bit corner cut. Didn't look like a lead, but it was to the stewards. Here we go then. DRS coming down now into turn 7. He's going for the inside line, and they're going to touch. Not quite. Skivan just stays in front. Shimasi holds back. Julian's back right behind them again. They've got to keep this clean, because otherwise their championship is not going to go the way they hope, nor the teams hope. It's got to stay calm. Coming into the middle sector of the track, and it seems to spread out a little bit once again.
Yeah, well, what can you say? So many penalties being thrown around. I can't believe Julian and I don't think Pitmat have had one yet. There's probably the only two guys out there that haven't. And yeah, so Ash Richardson will probably drop behind Matt Meerkat after his penalty. And,
He will, yes.
Drop behind, well, almost certainly will drop behind Julian before the end of the race.
Yes, he will. Julian's not got any penalty.
Chicken within range, depending on how many he's had. So
yes,
yeah,
and Appleton also getting a 3-second penalty now, but where he is, not making a difference.
Yep, so incredibly, we're in a situation where there could only be one position between Ash Richardson and Shimasi by the end of this race, and that would keep Ash Richardson at the top of the table.
Well, indeed, and Skivan has pulled out a little bit of a gap now, a little bit of escape to the McLaren Honda. It's always embarrassing, isn't it, to have McLaren Honda chasing you. Meanwhile, Shimasi goes wide at turn 1, and Julian was just on his inside there briefly. He hasn't got through. Will Shimasi have to get the place? I don't know. But Skivan has pulled away. Becky Welle's start of the Maro 83 was moving away to let them pass. Shimasi has got the DRS, but so is Julian. Right behind, but there's going to be no move made here. Not at all. And there is a marker ahead, and I think that's the other number. It looked like it from my screen. Let's just double check that. That's right, it's either... Who's that? No, was it a Sauber? No, I don't think it was.
Robin, I believe, in the Mercedes. Yeah. So,
Robin, let's have a look. Yes, it is, and he has let them through, which is very good sportsmanlike there from Robin. He's at the points, and he's got no chance of getting there unless someone in front ends up crashing. But you never know at the front here, between Skivan, Shimasi and Julian, it can always happen. And
yeah, still got a feeling that Julian's just holding back a little. He's got the patience from the fastest laps. And
he can
he's
indeed.
also the most popular tyre out there, so yeah, possibly just biding his time, not wanting to get too close to any of the curbs and risk penalties or damage. Otherwise, of course, he's running ahead of both of these on the track, so he's in a net second place anyway. No real reason to get too involved. Whether he knows that the two cars ahead have got penalties is a completely different story, of course.
Well, I believe he has. His team will be feeding me information. Shimasi goes on the last corner. That was very big understeer there. Could have easily crashed.
lost not only a podium, but 15 points in this championship as well. Julian doesn't get any closer, but again, like he said, Alex, he doesn't need to. He's got no penalties. Shimaski and Skivan have shed loads, just as Julian clips the wall there. But again, no matter, Julian just has to stay on the track, stay calm, stay focused, not get involved, make no mistake, and he'll get his reward for his patience. Julian almost hitting the wall.
It's just spread out a little at the moment, and Julian's backing off a little. As we've said, he doesn't need to be all over the back of him. It's interesting to see the variation in pace between those three different compounds of tyre. And just on a bit of a catch-up with Pit Matt, we've barely mentioned him. He's 15 seconds clear. He's currently in 4th place in the championship, 31 points off Ash Richardson, so he'll take a massive step forward in the championship today, providing he can complete the final.
Your mic.
6 laps.
Your mic just suddenly went loud there. Almost burnt my ears off through my headset here. Even I'm right next to you in this commentary box. We've got our refreshments right here next to us. I'm sure the drivers will be drinking plenty of their water, while maybe on the long straight here, just to relax. I mean, being a league racer myself, I've felt it all before. It gets quite intense out there in Singapore, but yes, it appears Julian is just settling behind him now because he doesn't want to get too close to the scrapping Ferrari and McLaren. Of course, Givan and Shimasi look to have quite an equal amount of time and penalties in terms of the time they have, but yes, Shimasi right on the back of him here. Here we go. Turn 4 or 5. DRS. Has he got it? Yes, he has. Of course he has. And around the left-hander here of turn 6. Is he going to go to the inside? He's made the move to the inside. And Skivan is going wide. Shimasi backhand swings out. He's alongside him. Is he going to go round the outside here at turn 8? They've just slightly hit the wall. And he's lost
front wing damage as well.
Front wing of Julian. Yeah, he has got damage. Julian round the outside, just avoids the wall there in the Red Bull. Julian now up to 3rd, behind the Ferrari of Skivan, and Shimasi falling backwards and backwards in his McLaren Honda. Whether or not he'll have to make a pit stop, I don't know. But yes, I think the damage is done already. And because he's on the softer tyre compound than Skivan, it doesn't look like he's going to get past him unless Skivan bins it in the wall.
Yeah, it's all falling apart for Shimasi. I mean, it looked so promising early on. He's now got front wing damage, quite a few penalties, and the potential of finishing just 1 place ahead of his championship rival Ash Richardson, and of course Pit Matt, who's well up there in the championship, also will be taking points out of Shimasi today, quite a lot of points as well. So yeah, what looked to be a great day for Shimasi, where he'd retake the championship lead, having lost it for just the one race in Monza. He all of a sudden is staring at losing more points.
Ash Richardson, you say he'll be gaining a few points, losing a few points. He could have been losing even more now. Matt Meerkat got past him there in the Force India, just on the exit of the bridge. I didn't want to interrupt you talking there, but oh, it's just gone deep, the Force India. Ash Richardson in the Renault, it's alongside him again. They touch. This isn't Dodgems, it's the Prix Racing League. But Ash Richardson, they just suddenly got back fast again. They're coming up now to the tunnel. Matt Meerkat is stay behind slowly. Just keep the gap there. You'll have the DRS on the main straight and then on the second straight, because you don't want to get too mixed up here. Matt, you won the last race. I know you want to get more points from that here in Singapore. You've got to be careful though. You did get past, but you outbraked yourself there. DRS on the main straight. On the match off my hand in all the adrenaline. Here we go. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Keep it clean. Exiting turn 3 now. The little kink, turn 4. On the way up now to turn 5. We've got the other Renault in front, which is actually ghosting, so it doesn't really matter. Here we go then. Matt Meerkat lays 9 tenths of a second. Now behind Ash Richardson. Ash pulled it away. Just getting himself there. Another 2 points.
Carrying a bit of front wing damage. I'm not sure if it's from when he ran wide or he had that previously, but
has he got front wing damage?
Left front wing damage on my screen for Matt Meerkat.
Yes, he has actually, just a little bit. I'm going to go back to the front now because Shimasi has lost a fair bit of time to Julian. He hasn't pitted, but he will have to soon, I imagine. Well, in fact, no, he won't. We haven't got many laps left. We've just been watching so much action here now with the last couple of laps. Pit Matt has not got long to go. Only 3 laps to go now, including this one. Ivan still ahead of Julian, but it's only 9th second, while Julian slightly goes wide at turn 1, but he just keeps it going on the track. Is he going to be able to be close enough to hit the RS? Probably not, actually. I don't know.
Just a little bit further back, we've got Shimasi. Sorry to interrupt. Shimasi under massive pressure now from Chicken. Chicken with the full aero performance of that Sauber. Shimasi with left front wing damage, more severe damage than the man on Force India. Matt Meerkat. Here we go. Not this time for Chicken. Sticks it on the outside. He'll be on the inside for the next corner. It's very tight in there. Shimasi covers the inside. But yeah, Ash Richardson and Matt Meerkat very close together. Just 2 tenths.
They are very close. Nice touch. Whoa!
Yeah, a bit of a fight for pride going on here. They need to remember that it's been a chaotic race here, and just the fact that they're in the points is a decent return for what has been a pretty dreadful day for most of them out there. So yeah, just a bit of a case of take what you've got.
Oh, Matt nearly touching him there again. Here we go. DRS open for Matt Meerkat in the Force India. Mercedes against the Renault, but he's gone. Well, he didn't hit the apex for that little kick there, but Ash Richardson's gone slightly wide, compromises it. Is Matt going to throw it in inside? He's not. He's going to keep it clean there. And this is one of the most interesting battles on the track now. Ash Richardson a full 44 seconds behind the next car in front of Chicken 1990, which is the pulse to this race. Has had a disappointing performance tonight here in Singapore, but he's right to the back of Shimasi. He's wanting to get that 4th place and score more points for Sauber, while they're wanting more sponsors for next season with Sauber. Here we go. Can Chicken, is he going to get past? Probably not. And Skivan, 3-second time penalty once again. He's going to drop behind Julian after all. And Matt Meerkat has got ahead of Ash. Sorry to interrupt you there. Ash Richardson has actually spun off just down the hill, off, you know, further alongside the river, and now he's got the Mercedes of Chris Johnson right behind him.
Yeah, all
he could lose another place. And Shimasi and Chicken battling away once again. Tiger Car, new fast lap of the race in the Renault, but Shimasi is just about staying ahead there of Chicken in the Sauber. And Chicken there just going slightly wide on that left-hander at turn 8. Here we go there. We've gone past the Fullerton Hotel, then the art gallery there, which I visited yesterday with my partner. It was an absolutely beautiful piece of artwork. But we could get some beautiful artwork out of this race here in just the last 2 laps. Even though Julian and Skivan have now got over a second and a half between them, Shimasi and Chicken have also got just half a second between them now. But there's them two could go down to the last lap. Meanwhile, Chris Johnson and Ash Richardson, they're still battling away, but Chris is tending to struggle a little bit now. He's lost a second. Yes, he's got the DRS because he was within the second at detection point while the activation zone. He has dropped further a second behind. He can still use it, of course, but he's not going to make the most of it. And he's gone wide.
Yeah, we've had a couple of races of late that have sort of fizzled out towards the end. This definitely isn't one. Can't be 100% how it's going to work out with penalties, but certainly the on-track action has been absolutely scintillating in these final 10 laps since we've
certainly have.
On contact. Chicken and Shimasi both off.
Oh dear.
Shimasi with no front wing.
Yeah, that's right. Shimasi with no front wing. Chicken has only lost his right hand plate. Sorry, I missed that battle on my monitor here in the commentary box. I was just watching Pit Matt, just taking it carefully on this last lap. Julian is over a second now behind Skivan. Doesn't look like there's going to be a position change there. And Tiger Car, not Cat, Kart in the Renault. 1 minute 40 dead in his Renault. He's set a fastest lap. Seamus no reward. Seamus no points for that. But it's going to look good on his CV. Fastest lap in Singapore in his Renault. Looking good for him.
Interesting to see if the stewards will have to take a look at that. I just flicked back as they were going into the braking zone of turn 1, whether Chicken ran into the back of Shimasi, whether Shimasi moved more than once remains to be seen. As,
yeah, coming on for the pit straight, we've got Appleton, he's past Frisky CJ. Chris Johnson's tyres are just absolutely shreds. He's now dropped to 9th place after the fight with Ash Richardson as they head on to the final lap of this race. Pit Matt though, he's coming round to the last corner, don't weave too much. Fireworks are on standby now. We're going to light up the night sky at Singapore. Pit Matt crosses the line to win here the Singapore Grand Prix at the Marina Bay. What a performance from him, absolutely dominant force from just around the first round of pit stops. Skivan comes across the line to take provisionally second place, but he's soon going to lose that to Julian in the Red Bull. Fantastic drive there from P18, he's in P2. Chicken, however, despite the incident on the last lap, he has got past Shimasi, he in the Sauber. If he hasn't got any penalties, the pole sitter will take P4, maybe even P3 because of Skivan's penalties. No, he stays 4th. Shimasi, he takes 5th. Pretty of a disappointing end to that. And then the next car to come round will be Matt Meerkat in the Force India. And Ash Richardson has spun it yet again. And Mr. Robin X and Jacob Stowe have also crossed the line in their cars, in their Mercedes and Ferrari. Bit of a disappointing night for them too. Never mind. Here we go now. Ash Richardson still struggling, and so is Frisky CJ. Frisky CJ. It's going to be great to finish the race after what was going on. Matt Meerkat round in the final corner to take the check. Force India. He's up to P. He finishes P6 to Force India. Not too bad a result, although I'm sure he would have preferred to do a little bit better than that, considering he started on P5. He could have easily took a podium there, but no matter. The winner from last time I doesn't take the same from here. I'm sure 8 points will satisfy him and the team. Ash Richardson 7th and Appleton 8th. Chris Johnson in 9th place. And I'm sorry, but the classification's just gone off my screen as the man in 10th place also crossed the line. Fantastic race tonight here at the Marina Bay.
Sorry to interrupt there. Just hearing that Skivan may not have requested the softs, so a bit of answering to for Ferrari there. But,
oh dear.
As opposed to the super soft.
Well, there could be some serious talk there down at the Ferrari camp tonight. I'm sure he'll be on the phone to Sergio Marchionne to have a word with one of the chief technical bosses or chief mechanics, whichever one it was. But there you go, on the podium you can see Pit Matt celebrating the champagne, absolutely loving it, and you can see there Franz Tost, really happy man. He's not the most happiest man in the paddock, but I'm sure he will be tonight. He's going to have a few drinks of champagne tonight in Singapore. Maybe they'll get too drunk. They're going to be partying tonight at the Marina Bay Sands. And if anyone wants to go there and join the party for a very happy Toro Rosso, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll join in if they let me. But looking at those penalties, Skivan 12 seconds, Chicken 3 seconds, Shimasi, how many did he get? Let's have a look as it just appears. Also 12 seconds, Matt Meerkat 6 seconds, Ash Richardson 3 seconds also for Appleton. Chris Johnson, was it 6 seconds or 9 seconds there? Just 5 seconds there. But yeah, penalties are plenty now, wasn't there, Alex?
Yeah, and the runoff areas here provide the potential for cutting the corners, and the weather, of course, contributed to that. So, and of course, the close racing. It's always easy to just drop wide and pick up a penalty. But Pit Matt and Julian, credit to them. I don't think picked up a single penalty. And that's why they were first and second in the end, keeping their nose clean for the entire race. Pit Matt from second from the front row took the lead at turn 1. Brilliant race from him. And yeah, what can you say about Julian coming from, I think, 18th on the grid? An absolute.
Yeah, I should have said. I don't know if we're still on air now. But driver of the day, it'll go on Super Racing League's Twitter anyway in the poll. I'm sure Julian will get the vote for driver of the day, and then a second place will be Pit Matt in the Red Bull Junior team, Scuderia Toro Rosso. Are we still on there now, or is that it?
I'm not 100%. I've just had Ash Richardson to the nominations for that as well. Salvaged after a poor qualifying. Salvaged some points, and of course had that moment in the middle where we think he left the race for a while. So yeah, to recover to 7th place was a decent effort from him.
Certainly was, but I'm sure there are going to be some serious words going on between the drivers. It's going to be quite a confrontation, I believe, especially for the end there when we had Chicken and Shimasi. Shimasi absolutely massive a tick in there. Will Chicken 1990 enjoy his KFC tonight? Probably not, but we'll see. Well, considering he started on pole, he won't enjoy it as much tonight as he did last night, that's for sure.